time, Prince Blue. Real time, real time, real time, Prince Blue. Talk that, talk that, talk that, culture, talk that, talk that, talk that, culture, talking entertainment too. Look, we are not the same as you. Look, we don't need a thing, just you. Just make sure the gang come through.
Hello, everybody. What is going on? This is Real Time Prince Blue. I am your host, Prince Blue, as always, and this is the Real Time Prince Blue podcast, where we keep everything real, we have fun, and we talk with interesting people, people that I find interesting, and we get to know them, and we just vibe. It's all about a vibe. That's what I'm all about. And with me, I had her on before, and she was so great. She was so wonderful. She was so nice. I reached out to her people again. Her people got back to their people. Then their people got back to her. And she said, yes, let's do it. She didn't have any special requests like she only wants yellow Skittles or anything like that. She said she was gonna come on, and this is the one and only Danny C. You may know her because I can't pronounce her last Twitter handle, which is Danny Danny
Targaryen.
Targaryen. See, I don't speak Game of Thrones. I'm sorry, people. I didn't get into it. Remember, Danny, the first time I reached out to you before we got on, I was like, how do I say your last name? I've been trying to say it.
You
I can
thought
say
it
it.
was my real last name.
That's on me. I don't speak Game of Thrones, people. Shout out to the Game of Thrones people that is listening. Listen, I love y'all. I appreciate it. But I was like, man, that's a long name. I was like, man, I don't know what that is, what part of the region it's from, but I'm glad you're here and thank you. How have you been?
I've been living the dream. Not really. I've been great though. How are you?
I'm good. For those who don't know, she's the most, how can I put this? Like we was talking offline and what I can share, she was like, it takes me like 5 days to get back up on whatever drama that's happening because she's the most unbothered person. Danny is like this. Like my timeline can be like Carson Wentz, fuck you, Carson Wentz. A pancake is not a crate, Carson Wentz. Then there's, man, this coffee was really nasty this morning. I got to get another one. That's Danny. Like her Twitter is just like a breath of fresh air. It's like totally not. It's not with anything that's going on. It could be a civil war, and you just see a tweet about how she's running late or how her coffee just wasn't hitting this morning.
Yeah.
So, so tell the people that what why are you why you present such this like carefree, like I wish I can be like you to where you like social media does not run your life because you're very busy. You have a very high demanding job. So tell me, how do you keep that focus and how do you keep that attitude that you display on Twitter?
I'm just like obviously we've talked before. I have a lot of anxiety all the time. And just like beefing with people on the internet's not my thing. I've done it before. And then I see other people doing it and I'm like, ugh, this has been going on for like 3 days. How are they not tired of it? And I just never wanted to do that. So I just kind of like mute everything and just stay in my own world. And I don't know if anyone wants to fight with me. I mute my own tweets after I tweet them. So I don't even see anything half the time. I just like to like keep doing what I'm doing and stay in my own lane. Honest to God, if a tweet gets more than like 3 likes, I'm like, enough of that. And I mute it.
Oh, what that is awesome. Now let me tell you, I get dopamines and adrenaline when every time I get a like, I'm like, it's like a new high. It's like somebody injected new drugs into my vein. So shout out to you. Soon as you tweet something, if it even remotely look like it's about to catch on, you be like, mute. That's enough of that. I'm going on my day. I said what I said. Peace out, Twitter.
Yeah, like when I tweeted that thing, my best friend Bobby and I had an argument about. It's the dumbest argument in the world, but like if you call it like if you make a left, you call it Larry or Louie. And I saw
Mhm.
people like getting mad and calling it stupid. And I was like, no, not going to ruin my day. Just going to ignore it. I checked back and it had like 50 replies. I'm like, I'm not even going to read them. It's just going to ruin me, like ruin my mood.
Now, then, really, like, how do you do that? Because me, with everything, with me being a little touch myself, and just if somebody says something to me, I feel like I have to respond. Like, how are you able to turn it off, especially if you see something that you're like, oh, oh, really? Like, how do you not respond?
I don't care. And I know that sounds kind of cocky, but like I'm
Mhm.
31 years old. So we've all had like our petty phases and this and that. But like, I don't know. I've done a lot of work on myself. I like myself, and I know that not everyone's going to like me, but I like me, and the people in my real life like me. So that's kind of all I care about. Like, as much as I love Twitter now because I've gotten to make connections such as this, 99% of those people I've never met in my real life, so I don't honestly care. And it's just not worth my energy because I've better real life things to do. I like when other people do it because I like to go through and like read it, but not me.
So
Not
you like when I do it, then you love when I get into
Yeah, but
stuff.
it takes me like 5 days to catch up because I really, it's so rude, but like, I like my timeline to be sports related.
Uh-huh.
So half the people I follow are also muted. And I'm like, wait, who said this? Now I gotta go there. It takes me like a week to put together the drama. And then by the time I'm caught up, everyone's on to something else. And I'm like, whatever.
And you know what? That is fantastic. And I'm always transparent. And like, I think I'm a try what you do and what others do. And there was a quote from Kara Lawson, the Tennessee Vols great. She put a quote out where she said, "Don't give them the power. Don't give anybody your power, any power." And that makes so much sense, because if somebody sees that you're bothered, they got you. No
Mm-hmm.
matter how you want to spin it. And me too. I'm included in this. No matter how much I think I got them and I trolled them and I got them back, me just going through the energy and doing it means that I've given them power.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I really didn't care, if I really would get them, I let them I let them tweet into the ether. Like, it'll be
Right.
like no response. Like, it'll be
Just let them
like
scream into the void.
right. If a bear shit in the woods, does anybody hear it? That's it. That's if Twitter was, that would be the perfect Twitter analogy. And I think I'm gonna really start doing that, because like you said, you have your circle, I have mine. Of course, you have people on Twitter. Of course, you're not gonna know. I have over 5,800 followers. I'm not gonna know all of them,
Right.
but there is I want to say 10, maybe less, that actually have my number and know me on a personal basis, that where that we can call. I feel like I know them without seeing them. And a lot of them I've grown close to over the pandemic. So, you can't just be flying everywhere and
Right.
slapping high fives with people. But I feel like I know them, and they can call me if they have an issue. I call them if I have an issue. So that's something I did learn. From you, and I think I'm gonna start taking that approach, because you don't want to let social media consume you, and
Mhm.
sometimes it does to me. And I can't lie to you, like, sometimes it consumes me. I don't know if you've ever been to that point, or you have mechanisms to stop that, or how does that work?
It just got, I mean, first of all, half of it's anxiety. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to go viral for being like an idiot because half my tweets are just like me complaining. So, like,
It's
I,
life. I love your complaints.
thanks. I try to like stay off of as much social media as I can. I just like keep it sports related. But also
Mhm.
got to the point where just like some of my old acquaintances, I'll say,
Mhm.
we would go out and we would spend 2 hours trying to take like the perfect Instagram picture. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like we might as well not even be here right now. Like, what is the point? So like I just started viewing social media is like less and less important. Like I'm still gonna tweet 40 million times a day, but like I don't care. It's me talking to myself in my head. Like I don't care. So
And
like that is basically my main thing is I was just so turned off by how like consuming it is. Granted, it was a blessing, like you said, through the pandemic because we couldn't really be together. But like now that we can, I'd rather just like cherish the face to face time rather than all that.
and that's keep being you. Don't call it complaining. I call that real life. Like some people, like their real life is getting their kids up for school in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Your real life is, yo, my coffee got to have the right ratio, and if it doesn't, I'm going to tweet about it, and that's okay. People be like, sometimes, I hate when people be like, no one cares. Well, I care. I care that Danny's coffee is off,
Well, I didn't
or
care
that,
what anyone else
or
is
that
liking, so that's good. If you don't care, keep it moving. That's not my problem.
that's right. That absolutely, I care. So keep it up, Danny. Don't feel like it's And now that I know that you get anxiety if you get any more likes, I'm gonna try to be the first one once you mute it and cut it off. Like 1, 2, 3, and then I know you muting it, and I'm like, I hope they know Danny's not seeing this. It's up to 4 likes.
It's really, I do it all the time. First of all, hi Poog, I saw that. I do it all the time. Bobby laughs at me because usually half the time that I tweet out like something stupid, he's sitting next to me because he's my best friend and he's my neighbor, so I see him all the
Mhm.
time. He's like, yo, did you see so and so said this? And I'm like, no, I muted it an hour ago.
Nice. Oh, hi, mom. That's my mom. My mom always
Oh,
she support me, so I can't curse because once I start cursing, she's gonna leave. She hates when I curse.
it's okay.
I'm
My mom's
st-
on Twitter now too. That's why I've toned down mine.
yeah, I'm still that little baby. I'm 39, but can't curse in front of mom. So, Annie, let's get into sports. People know that you're a huge sports fan, and uh, breaking news, you're a woman. Um, I see a lot of like mansplaining. Can you explain to me what is like when a woman be like, I don't need you to mansplain to me what a touchdown is. What does that mean?
Like, what does mansplaining mean, in my opinion?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, when they literally reiterate what you just said back to you in simpler terms because they think you didn't understand what you just said. Like, you are too dumb to understand what you just put out in the world. You want me to be
so so you could be like one plus you could be like, yeah, Ben Simmons just dunked the ball. He's phenomenal. He's athletic. And then a man be like, well, he dunked the ball because he's 11. He's athletic. And you're
right?
like,
And that's why the ball went into the net. Like, do we not say the same thing in different words? That's why I muted it all the time because, like, I try to stay unbothered, but sometimes I'll catch a thing or two, and I'm like, not today, not
you just
today.
you just
But
you
I'll
just
see.
gotta you just gotta do it. Yeah. So since we're talking about basketball, what is your take on the whole Ben Simmons saga?
I have a lot of takes. First of all, I'm like kind of confused because I feel like now people feel sympathy for him because he said he wasn't mentally prepared for practice. And this is the one thing I hate about Twitter. We don't know what mentally unprepared means, whether it's like he's embarrassed, he could have mental issues. We have no idea what that means. And then half of Twitter is like diagnosing him essentially. And the other half is now like, no, don't make fun of him anymore because he's got this and that, which is like, fine. If it is a mental illness, yes, but like, let's not diagnose it. Like, let's focus on what we do know was where he said publicly he didn't want to be here before. And at this point, it's just chaos. But based on the little bit of the game I caught last night, we might need him. So let's hope it's nothing serious.
Oh no, there's no might. We do need
We-
let's stop this. Like, and I've been guilty of it. It's like when you're in a relationship and that person is probably the best thing that ever happened to you, but you'll try to convince yourself why it's better off without him. You'll be like, yeah, well, you always burnt the egg, so if I'm not with you, then I can't get angry about my eggs being burnt no more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I could cook myself, or I could go to Waffle House and get my own eggs. But really, everybody around you and you know deep down inside, you need that person.
Hmm.
You're better with that person. And that's how it is with Ben Simmons. Despite his flaws and burning the eggs, not shoot free throw stuff like that, he he makes everything settled. Because when he's there, we have a star point guard, then Maxi is on the bench. When he's not here, Maxi is in there. He doesn't do the things that Ben Simmons does, and Furkan Korkmaz is your backup point guard.
Right. And like at this point, it's kind of a pride thing, I think. I'm guilty of it too. Half of me was like, oh, get him out of the city. And then I've been watching a couple games and I'm like, all right, maybe hold back.
I
So
miss him.
I know, I'm
I
like,
miss
bring him
him.
back.
I miss her. I love
Not
her.
going to be
I
like an
love
apologist, but I like, obviously, we definitely need him. But I
her.
just also thought it was wild how, like, in the early morning of Twitter, we were all hating him. And then
And
it
it
came out that he
swung.
was mentally unprepared and it was like, protect him at all costs. I'm like, we don't know what that means. Maybe we
Hmm.
should just, if JoJo's good with it, I'm good with it. Like, I'm not in
And
the
you know
locker
what?
room. I
You know
don't
what's
know.
funny? And that's exactly what it is because, and you know what I think it is, like putting on my non-psychologist hat. I think for the first time, Ben Simmons actually came off as a human being and
Yeah.
not a douche nozzle.
Hmm.
To say I'm not mentally, whether we think it's fake, whatever it is, for a grown 6'11" man who has the whole world at his feet to say, I was not mentally prepared. That was the first time we saw a human side in Ben Simmons. We didn't get the I am what I am and well, I'm an all-star. Like and we can tell. That's the thing about it, Ben. We knew in that Atlanta series something was wrong. You wasn't there. You checked out. Call
Hmm.
it fear, call it whatever it is. You look like you wanted to be anywhere but there. And we knew something was wrong. But if you would have came out and said, I messed up, I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna I'm gonna fix this, I'm gonna whatever this is, I need to get this, we've embraced less. We've embraced less.
And it
We
could be as simple as like a mental block, but, and granted, we're technically quote unquote like just the public. So maybe we're not necessarily privy to all of this, but like it can't, like just something, you know what I mean? Like we don't know what it means. It could be a mental block, which if it comes out that it's a mental block, I'm not going to fault you for that. Like I cheered my whole life. I know what it's like to have a mental block. It's the most frustrating thing in the world because you know your body's capable, but you just can't get over it. It could be something that's diagnosable that I'm not certified to diagnose. Or it could be just like maybe he's even partially embarrassed. Like he probably, we'd have to be dumb to think he doesn't see everyone against him.
he's
And like that's
embarrassed.
got to be hard coming back thinking you're just going to get like completely booed off the floor in your home city. Like I don't think I'd go either, honestly.
But you know how you fix that? You come out and you play to the potential that we know you can be. That's of course it would have been a few idiots that
Hmm.
booed, but the first time he dunked, slammed the ball, um did a no look assist or contributed in a positive way, you think the Six fans would still boo?
No,
No.
put effort into the team that we're all sitting here watching day in and day out.
Yes, I'm not spending $300 for a ticket to boo Ben Simmons. You can do that, and I ain't broke, but I ain't stupid. Like I ain't doing that. So, um, that's my take on Ben. I feel like he'll be back, and then the Sixers will be rocking and rolling.
I
I'm
think
not worried
he'll come back
about
with
these.
a good series when they like,
Yeah,
he'll come back,
yeah,
he'll get in the swing of things. I think we'll be all right.
yeah. We'll be all right. Now you have a shirt on there with an emblem, a logo. A logo that's near and dear to a lot of us, and that's also the reason why a lot of us have no hair. We have anxiety. We have anger issues on a Monday or a Friday, depending on when they play. Um, dang, what? Let's start with Jalen Hurts. What do
Okay.
you think?
I think I'm super alone on this one. I mean, I'm not
Okay.
ready to like throw the towel in on Jalen. I think we're harsh as Philly fans, but like look at what he's working with. He's not really playing in an offense built around him. Yeah, his accuracy sucks. I think that's fixable. He still goes the distance. Like, it's not like he can't reach far throws. Like, accuracy is workable. And he's still a rookie technically. And like, we're just in shambles right now. And like, again, he's working with what he can. And I don't think the whatchamacallit, draft pick coming up or the draft coming up, I don't think the QB looks good, QB class. So I think we're going to rock with him for at least 2 seasons, and I think we should.
Ooh.
I think he has fixable things. I mean, I'm probably wrong, but just personal opinion, I don't see anyone that I would take over him in the draft. I don't know, but I'm not Howie, but Howie's going to butcher it anyway, but we'll see. But I just think I feel bad for the kid. I want him to be the guy so bad. I do. Not like the guy, but for now.
I can't do it, Annie. I just there's nothing about him that says, you know how I know, and this may be the stupidest thing ever. You know how I know a player is the person, like it's something about him.
Yeah,
I want to go buy. I'll buy a jersey and won't even think twice.
that's fair.
I did it. I did it for Wentz. I did it for Donovan. I did it for B Dog. I did it for Randall. But afterwards. But players that I knew that I was like, yeah, they're legit. Like, yeah, I didn't even look at a Jalen Hurts jersey once on Fanatics. I was like, no, because he just no. I'm not spending another $130 for me to get breaking news from Adam Schefter that he's been either dealt, cut, or he
We brought up
they
Gardner.
they found a video of him punching a midget and now he's gonna be suspended. Like I can't I can't do it, Danny. But my thing about Jalen Hurts, and it's going to segue into the next question for you, is like you said, smart. I don't have to mansplain it. You said that he's not in an office that's conducive for him to be successful. And
Hmm.
that leads to Mr. Marker, Mr. Visor, Mr. He's so hot, Mr. Quotes, Mr. Paper, Rocks, and Scissors, Mr. Nick Sirianni. Like, what did he say to Jeffrey Lurie and Howard Roseman that they said he's the coach for our Philadelphia Eagles?
I have no idea. And like, I don't understand. Like, I think all of us once in our life have felt imposter syndrome where we're like, oh, we shouldn't be here right now. I don't know how he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
like wake up and feel that every day. And like, at first, again, I try to be sympathetic toward people because we only know what we see. And like, after his first presser, when everyone like roasted him because he kept stuttering, I was like, that doesn't like verify his ability as a coach. And now I'm like, oh my God, he's really good at taking accountability, not good at all at actually like acting on it. And like it's just embarrassing. Like the quotes and the metaphors, like we stink, like really bad. And you're showing pictures of flowers and explaining how they grow. Like, what are you actually like? I can't imagine that either of them, like Lori or Howie, sit there and they're like, this was a great choice. This was a phenomenal choice. Like, how are you all not mortified? How is he still here? I don't know. I don't know.
Um, like you said, think about it. Jeff Lurie's a billionaire. Like, you think he really wants to be associated with the Browns? Because if Sirianni's one and done, one thing about Lurie, he doesn't want to be embarrassed. He doesn't want to be a lack of stock, and he wants to keep his money going.
Hmm.
One of those things are always going to happen, and the money's going to keep going. And you know why? It's because, to a fault, we are the greatest fan base in the world, to where excuse me, we're going to show up and we're going to show out, even if it's the boo. We're the only people that buy tickets to literally wait for a moment to be upset and boo. And guess what it still is to Lori? Money.
It's
Like,
money.
he doesn't, you don't get money back because you didn't like the product. So we have to hit him in his pocket. But the way I be seeing all these posts on Sundays and at tailgates and at away games, how we take over stadiums, listen, it ain't about to change. They're in no rush to get rid of Nick Sirianni unless we stop showing up. He becomes a huge lifestyle, or this thing completely bottoms out to the point where uh, coaches are saying stuff, players are already saying stuff. But along with Jalen Hurts, I think both of them are not here for the long term. Neither one.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Jalen's the guy. I just think like I don't think he's our main issue right now. That's like my
Hmm.
only takeaway. I don't think he's our biggest concern. Like again, yes, his accuracy is terrible, but hopefully someone's working on that with him day in and day out. But I remember reading an article that was like this last game was one of the worst games that we've had in a long time as like the Philadelphia Eagles. And I just don't understand. I tried to be as optimistic as I could, especially after like the first game. I was like, you know what? Minor things here, there, blah, blah, blah. Growing pains, new coaching staff, new quarterback. But we're just getting worse. And the problem is, I don't even think we have necessarily, I don't know how to verbalize it. I don't even think we have that bad of a team. We're just undisciplined and just not good right now. Like, I don't understand why everything is so bad.
You just said it, and I'm not going to mansplain. You just said it. You said it's not that bad of a team. You are correct. To people I'm hearing from analysts, podcasts, Twitter, this team should be better than this. They should
Absolutely.
have better production. So that's coaching. That means he's underachieving. This is not a 2-5. It's not a 2-5 roster.
No.
Like this, you got people legit saying, you got people legit saying, uh, Detroit gonna get their first win. We're a get right team for the Detroit Lions. The Philadelphia Eagles are a get right team for the Detroit Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, Danny. Somebody's knocking at the door. Yes, Satan. No, I'm not ready to go to hell right now. Oh, we're in hell? We're in hell. Why? Why are we in hell? Oh, because the Eagles are a get right game for Detroit? I can't argue with you. I can't argue with. Well, let me finish this and then I'll join you down there, all right? Put some pants on. You're embarrassing me. So that's where we're at right now. We're in football hell.
Mm-hmm. My best friend Chantel is a Detroit fan. She's from Detroit. Like one of my good
She
friends.
called you talking a lot of stuff, didn't she?
She called me today and she's like, "Oh, are you gonna block me for a week after we beat you?" And I was like, "I'm gonna block you now." I'm like, "Why would you call me?"
See? Why Detroit fans? Shout out to CB from DC. That's my homie. He's been a Detroit fan since Twitter, since me and him been friends on Twitter. And I know he gonna be chesty. Detroit fans are chesty against us. The 0-16
I
are
mean,
chesty.
if we were in their shoes and we looked the way we looked, I'd be saying the same thing. I probably would have called her saying the same thing. We're just getting worse and worse every week. And it's just like, and that's like the most infuriating part is everything's about accountability. And they love these stupid cliche quotes. And I don't know what is their obsession with these weird quotes.
Gotta water
But
those
like we're
flowers.
still getting worse. Gotta water the flowers, exactly. Gotta let the roots grow first, which means we're probably gonna still be growing roots when we play Detroit, but we'll see.
Well, you know what helps flowers grow, right?
What?
Fertilizer. You know it's another name for fertilizer. That's
Shit.
what I feel. That's what I feel like every time Nick Sirianni opens his mouth. It's like, and you know what? You nailed it on the head. It is imposter syndrome because he probably didn't take a suit. He went on vacation, Danny. If you're a head coaching candidate, do you go on vacation?
No.
No, because you probably gonna be interviewing. Dude had shorts, a thong, and flip flops in his suitcase, and he got a call from the Eagles saying, "Come interview for the head coach job." He didn't have a suit.
So we were just doomed from the get go.
We was Imagine, Danny. Imagine you just like you got like 6 jobs. No, you ain't got no job, and you just on vacation, and the job calls you like, "Hey, we want to interview you," and you like, "Well, hell, all I got is a bathing suit and some flip flops." My man had to run to Kohl's and buy something off the rack. I think he bought like a polo and like some pleated shorts or something. I don't know. But that right there told you y'all hired somebody that nobody, nobody was thinking about. And
Mm-mm.
then they be like, um, well, we talked to Frank Reich, and Frank Reich said he's ready. What was Frank Reich going to say?
Right. Right. He's over there living the dream right now, the team that's actually decent. Like,
If somebody asks me, "Hey, Blue, how's Danny?" What do you want me to say? What am I supposed to say? Like I'm not going to talk bad about you. I want you to
right.
get the job. So when people use that, and then people in the media are like, well, these guys, they tell us the truth. If a guy's ready, a guy's ready. First of all, there's only 32 head coaching jobs in the NFL.
Hmm.
No coach is going to stop another coach from getting that job.
Right.
Been there, done that. That's a fraternity. They're not going to go against the grain. So don't. You know what? I'm,
So
I'm getting a
art
headache just talking about them.
I read an article that had a really great point, brought up Doug about how for like top tier coaches that were available, like this may not have been an ideal spot for them because we went from a Super Bowl winning team and then 2 years later got rid of our coach, and like that doesn't project really good job security technically for head coaches. It was a pretty interesting article, and like that could be a reason why we're stuck where we're stuck now. Maybe not many people wanted the job as well.
And you know what? I've heard the same people. And you know why they don't want the job? Nobody wants to work for uh Poindexter. Nobody wants to work for Howie Roseman. Nobody's trying to hear that collaboration stuff. Like
Mm.
I get it. You don't want to, since Chip, he's a little gun shy, you don't want to give a man that much power, but you don't want to micromanage a football coach, especially when you don't know football. I can see if Elway was the owner,
Mm-hmm.
then you be like, okay, if Elway's the owner and we're talking football, we're good. But don't like Danny. I promise you, like I like car wrecks as much as anybody, but I don't want to be in them. I don't want to be a passenger, and I feel like Eagles fans are passengers in this car wreck.
It's to the point where like you just gotta laugh to keep from crying. Every time there's a new presser, I sit there and I just literally laugh at the whole thing. Like we're gonna have a rough go this year, and I've accepted that. And so it's just embarrassing. It's frustrating because, like we mentioned, on paper we're a decent roster. We really are, and we should be a better team. But we're just getting worse and worse. So at this point, sometimes you gotta laugh to keep from crying. So I like to laugh, so I'm down to
You're
get
like
this
me.
over
You
with.
know what? You know what we are? In the most respectful word, you and I are sadists. Like we like laughing at pain. We like laughing at our pain, other people's pain. It's like, hey, listen, they're so bad. They're so bad, but you're like crying and laughing at the same time. You're like, they're so bad. It's exactly like that,
Hmm.
and I have nothing. Now I gotta go to the Phillies.
I don't
Let's
even. I just. I don't even know.
skip them. Let's skip them. Okay. Now,
Who has?
what people may know or may not know, and since I am the resident hockey expert, you are my side ice reporter. So you love the Flyers.
Love.
You love them dearly. Like you like 60% of your pictures are you in some type of Flyers gear.
Yeah.
Um, Tell me, what do you think early on about your Flyers?
So it's early on, and I'm always pessimistic about them. I expect them to let me down. But I'm actually really excited. Like I hate to be saying this right now because I'm fully going into like if I start with expectations down here, they can only go up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. Fourth line could use some work, but I kind of call it our bargain line. It's players we got for a good deal, I would say. But we made some necessary changes this offseason, got rid of some like big names that we're all used to in that regard of big names, and just really kind of shook up the roster, got some newbies, and they're good. Like the simplest way I can like break down hockey is like you're either fast or you're physical, and if you're neither, like you don't have much of an identity. Like some teams are hard hitters, not afraid to stand somebody up, and some teams are fast and they're really fast on the ice, really fast pass, like just very quick. They're so fun to watch. We were kind of neither for a while, and we were big on like passing. And from the first couple games I've seen, they're taking shots where they would have passed. They're getting more aggressive. A lot of penalty minutes, which selfishly I love. I love the fights.
Look
But like
at
I'm
you. Look
excited.
at you. You're an animal. You're an animal. You're an animal. You crush beers on your forehead at the games. Like you're just rough. You're just rough. Um, but one thing I do know is that no matter what the teams are, we're all we're all suffering. Like we, we need something. We need something to pick us up, and I don't know,
I
Danny. I
have
just
faith. I don't think they're going to be great just yet. There definitely seem to be some kinks to work out. I'll probably take this back in like 4 games. But as of now, like I'm excited for the Flyers. Like I'm excited to watch them. They are playing a different style of hockey than they have recently. So I'm down to see how things go. Giroux came
it's
out swinging, so very
yeah.
excited for him. Love him.
Only you and Mertitas is this excited. Like y'all the two people I know that know hockey. It's you and Jason Mertitas. That is it. Shout out to J Mert. That's my guy. Like nobody talks about hockey like you two. Um
Just tweeting to the void again.
let's get into some fun stuff. Let's get into some fun stuff. Um give me like pop culture is a big thing. It's an escape. It's what we all look for. Like one thing I'm starting to see a lot of now is you see more women in sports, whether they be broadcasting, front office roles, debate shows, and I don't. I want to ask this question as respectfully as possible, which is, do you think that women in sports have moved forward, or do you think that they haven't moved forward enough?
I think it's like a catch 22. Like I definitely think they're moving forward, but I also still think it's to the point where they're not like just as a whole haven't moved forward enough because the women that are doing it now are trailblazers, and if you look into them, they're qualified. But the second that there's a woman announced for any kind of role in sports, the second you go into the comments, people are like, "Is she qualified? What is like?" They're questioning her, everything about her, which is like whatever. People are gonna be idiots. It's fine. So there's definitely room to grow. But I do think it's awesome the progress that we've seen. Like even Kate that replaced Mark Zumoff. Is that her name?
Hmm.
Kate?
Kate Scott.
Yes, like that's awesome. Like everything, like we're seeing more and more women as they go, and I think it's awesome. Still have a long way to go though, because the second they announce it, one of the first 3 comments is going to be someone questioning the credibility. So as far as like a society, we have a long way to go. But I think women and like as a whole are doing great moving forward.
I think that, but this is my issue, Danny. This is my issue when it comes to women in sports. It's no in between. It's either you got Hannah Storm, Mina Kimes, Malika Andrews, um, Kate Scott, Doris Burke, or you got Joy Taylor.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Who else? Joy Taylor. Like
Your
that's what I'm thinking about because it's like there's no in between. It's like you got super knowledgeable, qualified, knows the game, can talk about it. Um, also got a little flavor and style to them. Then you got totally on the other side of the spectrum where it's like, you know, they ain't tuning in to Colin Cowherd to hear you talk, right? Like, and it's not, I'm, it's not her fault because that's the way she was born. She was blessed. Hey, listen, it is what it is. But when you play it up and then you say something silly, and then when people be like, okay, why are you here? I feel like you can't get upset because it's like you have to prove your, especially as a woman, you have to prove who you are, fair or unfair. That's
Mm.
just the way it is in the media. Like you got these knuckle dragging men that are like the first thing they're like is, well, she ain't hot, so what else she got? Like you legit, like I see the comments where people are legit like, yo, like what I'm supposed to look at now? Or what is this? Like, and it's crazy. Like when K Scott was announced, like people were legit upset just at the fact that um Mark Zumoff was gone. I mean, it is what it is. When you're replacing a legend, they're
Right.
gonna be mad there. And
You know
then the
that.
fact that it was a woman, that opened up a whole brand new can of worms. And then the fact that she wasn't from here, that did more. So I think women are moving forward, but I also think that some of them, like in any community, are, are pushing y'all back a little bit. That's just me, to be honest.
And I think we've kind of had a similar conversation before where, like, obviously everyone has to have their own thing before every market becomes oversaturated.
Hmm.
But just make sure whatever your thing is, like, you own it. Like, good,
Own it,
bad.
and
Like,
she
just
does that.
whatever it
She
is.
owns it. She. One thing I can admit, she owns it. She
Mhm.
knows. She knows. So, a lot of them know. Not just her. I'm not gonna just pick on her. They put them thirst traps up there, and they like, hey, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
this me, yeah, yeah. No, I can't recite analytics, but I look good and I got a job. Don't hate. And I respect that. I'm like, hey,
Because what else are you going to say?
what else you gonna say? Like, I mean, it is what it is. Um, let's talk about let's talk about the thing where it comes to where on you're on social media and something, you see it all the time when you're watching something and it's really good, like a show, and you can't get into it or you have to see it early because people are literally spoiling it
Yeah.
on social media. What is your take on the hashtag about a show when it's trending? But people don't just do hashtags anymore. They like literally spoil it. What's your take on that?
Again, I have like two answers because I've been on both sides of the fence for this. Like, I
Hmm.
was always late to the party on Game of Thrones. So I was like, well, now I can't go on Twitter because I'm just asking to ruin my own mood. But then also, like, if I was home in time to watch the new Game of Thrones episode, like, I'd be the idiot live tweeting it also. So, like, I've been both. But, like, again, I think
Hmm.
if you know that a show is on and there's probably going to be spoilers, like, maybe stay off social media or, like, mute it. I do that before too. I'm a big fan of mute everything. I really do.
I think I agree. I think doing it with shows like sports is different because listen, if you ain't watching it, I think people that DVR stuff and they go back to watch a sporting event without knowing what's going to happen, I think you're sociopaths. I think you need to get checked because there's no way in the world I could DVR a game and not know what happened and
Mm-mm.
ignore everybody until I could sit down and watch it.
Yeah,
You either watch it
I
then or you
agree.
don't watch it at all.
It's also different though because like sports, how are you not going to know? And I would have too much again anxiety not knowing the outcome when the rest of the world did. But I also kind of feel like if you're gonna live tweet a show, like you can do it with a little like integrity is absolutely not the right word, but like I guess secrecy. Like you don't have to throw actual spoilers out. Like you can be like, holy shit, like if there was like a good part, but like not
Like,
divulge into what you're talking about
like,
exactly without
yeah.
giving away specifics. Do you know what I mean? Like there is a way to get it done without ruining it for everybody. But also, there's always going to be that person, so you might as well just stay off the internet.
So, Annie, give me if there was one person that can call Danny, and it could be male or female. If it's one person that would call Danny and say, "Hey, I'm outside, call off of work, let's go hang out." Celebrity wise, who would it be?
Do they have to be alive?
No, but it
Okay.
would be weird if a zombie came to pick you up. But go ahead. I mean,
Well, I mean, if they didn't have to be alive, it would be Heath Ledger. I was obsessed with him.
what?
I loved Heath Ledger. Absolutely loved. If they had to be alive, I'm trying to think.
What? Let's start with this. What was it about Heath?
Oh, I just thought he was so hot. I mean, his acting was great. I thought he's so hot.
Well, damn. Well, cut to the chase there, Daddy. What was your favorite movie?
With him in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like A Knight's Tale, thanks to my dad. And I have to admit, I am not a big superhero movie person at all. I've actually never seen any other Batman movie except for The Dark Knight, and I
Mm-hmm.
only watched it because he was in it.
First of all, I love The Knight's Tale.
I know, I can't. My dad got me into it, and I'm like, I'll watch it anytime
I
it's on.
love that. I love that movie. I love.
It's a
He
great
was
movie.
really. He was a fantastic actor. Like his range, because I've seen him in everything
Ten Things
from
I
Mom
Do.
to Dark Knight to Knight's Tale to the one with, why do I always forget the one with Billy Bob and
Oh my god! Wait, are
I
you?
always forget the name with Billy Bob Thornton and Halle Berry when he was the son and he was ashamed of him and they both worked as correction officers. Why do I always forget that
Oh,
name?
I think I'm
Somebody help me
one.
out.
I won't know it.
Yeah.
He was 10
Okay.
About You though, and that was also a phenomenal movie. But like
Which
I think
one?
10 Things I Hate About You.
I did not see that.
That was a great one. Still
I
not
wasn't a rom com person.
me either.
Like although like when back when it was Freddie Prinze and all them, I just did my rom coms was like um Knocked Up. Those are my type of rom coms
I love
where
Step
just
Brothers.
yes, like those are my type of rom coms. But those syrupy ones with like Sarah Michelle Gellar and all them, I just wasn't into those type of rom coms.
I only watched that
So
because he was in it. I was obsessed with him.
duly noted, Heath Ledger. If you're out there and you look like Heath Ledger, hit Danny up, yo. Um, but Danny, so let's talk about like what's your favorite? Favorite? What is your favorite thing to do in your downtime?
Besides play with my dog.
Yes, I have a dog too, so I understand. But yes, no, take the dog out of it.
Um, if it's warm, I like to be outside. Like I like to go on like walks, hikes, anything like that. Honestly, if it's cold, I really don't do much. I can't express to you how much I hate the cold, and I no longer like want to live on the East Coast. But like my favorite thing to do is just like anything outside with my friends. Like love hiking, anything nature, just like fresh air. I would say.
Why do white people like hiking so much? Why do y'all want to be in these remote places where there's no bathroom, no Wi-Fi, no nothing? Like, why do y'all like doing stuff like that? It's so weird.
No, and I'm obsessed with horror movies, so I should know better. But I'm like, let's
Yes,
do
you.
it.
Well, no, because granted, if black people in the horror movies always go first, so don't worry about that. Y'all are good in scary movies. It's us that's always like we always go first. But Um, hiking. I did camping one time where I was
Oof.
where I was small. I was like 12, 13, and we went to this away camp for like 7 days where you like sleep outside and stuff like that. Let me tell you something. You white people can have that. No, 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 no.
When
I
I
ain't
say
hiking
I
nothing.
mean like a day hike. I've camped one time in my life,
Hmm.
and I think I cried the second I saw the shower because it was so gross. And I couldn't believe that that was my life for 4 days. And I think I just started crying. I was like, I'll never do this again. But I like to go on walks.
give me, give me your worst pet peeve.
Oh God, I have lists of those. Um, I hate. I don't know why it's such an irrational pet peeve when people can't just send you one text message and it's like bang 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 and they send you like four. I like ignore them for 2 hours because I'm just too angry to respond because I felt that it was so unnecessary. I hate it. It's oh God, I can't explain it.
Why do you hate me, Danny? Why do you hate me? Listen, this is why, because we're caught, because I'm a texter. I love to text. We're stuck in a hard. Do you want one long ass paragraph?
Yes.
Okay, see, but some people don't want that. How many times you see people, they be like, I ain't reading all that.
I know. I'm sorry for you. I'm glad that happened.
They don't know what's in the body of it. They wrote the first and then the second. And they're like, man, that's good for you, man. I'm proud of you. So you proud that my dog was shot and I lost all my money in a Ponzi scheme? Oh shit. Oh, is that what it said? Oh man, I ain't reading all that. So what are we what are we supposed to do? Like what are we supposed
It's
to do?
I can't even explain it. It's such an I know, and it's so annoying. And like the day I tweeted about it one time, and I muted that tweet too because I had like 50 people telling me like I was wrong. It's just
I
such a
love the fact you
peeve.
just tweet something, trigger people and mute it, and they're like, "Ah, ah, 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 ah," and you're like, you're just sitting somewhere like,
I just it's I don't care. I don't care. Like I used to be that person to go back and forth. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I didn't. But then like I didn't feel great about it, and then I had to go back the next day, and I'm like, did I say anything that's gonna get me banned? And I
hmm.
was like, you know what? I don't want to think about this for 2 days, so I'm just gonna let people like argue with themselves. Like I muted it an hour ago. I don't care.
Oh man, that's great. So I'm gonna do rapid fire, and you just tell me which ones. Okay, which either or. Apple, Android.
Apple,
Um, black, white.
black. I love the color black. I knew
That
what to
was
say
so
after
wrong.
that. You were gonna have something to say, but I love the color black, so I went black.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, Phillies, Eagles.
Wait, say it again. The Phillies or the Eagles?
Mm-hmm.
Eagles.
Okay. Blonde, brunette.
You got me with this last time. For men, brunette.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about me, and I was like, blonde, duh. And I was like, oh, wait, guys.
Pizza, cheeseburgers.
Oh, neither. I hate cheese.
Aren't you Italian?
Yeah, my grandmother used to call me a Metagon because she was like, you're not my grandchild because I hated cheese.
How do you hate cheese? First of all, shout out to Grandma with the mighty God. How do you hate cheese?
Can't stand it. I can't stand the taste of it. It just grosses me out.
So do you eat hamburgers?
Yeah, yeah, I'll put like ketchup and like mustard on it. There's no cheese on there.
Oh, Danny. So you don't eat pizza?
No, I hate pizza. I'll eat tomato
Oh,
pie.
Danny. Oh, so you? Oh, Danny. Oh,
I'm
I'm
all
picturing
Italian.
you.
I'm a terrible Italian. I know.
First of all, me and my wife, I love my wife. We just went on our 6 year anniversary to Miami South Beach, and we did this. Hi, Miss Wanda, how are you? And we did this boat trip where we were seeing celebrity houses. So we saw Shakira, Scarface, where they filmed Scarface, Will Smith's house, J Lo's old house. Thank you, Miss Wanda. So um I happened to be sitting next to an Italian. He's from the old country. Dude was as smooth. I legit thought he could get anybody he wanted on that boat. Cause he was like, he found out my wife was vegetarian. He was like, let me ask you something. You vegan, right? I have no problem with the vegans. But why? And then my wife told him, and he was like, and she told him about bad gut health and you get big stuff like that. He was like, I don't have high blood pressure and I'm skinny with the meats, no? And I was like, you what? I'm like, first of all, don't ever tell my wife you
You're like, say
skinny
that
with the
again?
meats. I am skinny with the meats, no? I was like, don't tell my wife you skinny with the meats. Like, come on, man. But I can't believe you don't like pizza, man. But
She
hey,
literally, I mean, my grandmother is like fresh off the boat Sicilian, and she used to call me a Metagon when she would cook for me and my cousin. My cousin Vince doesn't really like it either. He does
mhm.
now. He grew up. I didn't. But she used to tell people like we were not her grandchildren because we hated cheese. He loves it now. I still won't eat it.
But you know what? We all do something that will get our cards taken from our culture. Like for me, like I mean, let's be real, people. I don't care. Cancel me, whatever. I don't care. Can't cancel somebody that's already canceled. Like I don't eat chicken wings. I don't eat chicken wings. I don't eat ribs. I don't eat anything with a bone attached to it. So I eat bones. So you see, they always joke with me. They call me a chicken nugget guy. Like I've had people snicker at me when I go to the drive-through and I order chicken nugget Happy Meal with an apple juice, and I'll pull up and they're like, and I'm like, just give me my food. You ain't got to laugh at me. Yes, I ordered chicken nuggets with an apple juice. What's the problem? That's me. So imagine when I done been to plenty of parties. I done been to parties where I got some of my white homies or whatever, and they like, and they don't really mean no harm. They like, Blue, come on in, man. We got food, man. The chicken wings is over there. And then here's the moment. I'm like, I don't eat chicken wings, and they're like,
The shock sets in.
I just ordered 75 wings because a black person was coming, and you don't eat chicken wings. I was like, I'm sorry, man. You got some boneless wings or something? Nobody eats boneless wings. So I'm like, I done stopped plenty of parties where they're like, yo, that he don't eat chicken wings, yo. I done ordered all these chicken wings and he don't eat them. He ain't gonna eat one. But you pizza, me chicken wings. I make my relatives now. They all know
It gets to the
whenever
point
they
now me and
frying
Bobby
chicken.
go somewhere to like watch a sporting event, like to like one of his friends' houses, and they don't really know me. And they'll go to order pizza. Bobby's like, I'll do it. I got the app. And then he's like, you want chicken fingers? So he doesn't have to make like a big scene. So,
Oh, shout out to Bobby, yo. He don't embarrass you. He like, I'm just gonna order you chicken fingers, okay?
yeah,
Don't
he's
you
so
worry about it.
nonchalant about it. It's so funny.
But I want somebody to, put the slice over the pizza and then be like, here, Danny, get a slice. And then you're like,
Yeah,
so
because
pizza parties must have been real awkward in school for you, huh?
hmm?
Pizza parties must have been real awkward in school for you, huh?
I made it even more awkward because I felt bad like not eating it because like the teachers it. So I'd be sitting there scraping the cheese off and pretty much just eat like Lord
Oh
Joe.
no.
But like I felt bad
No.
because I'm like the teachers bought it, so I feel like I should eat at least a piece.
Oh.
It was so embarrassing. I was a weird kid.
Oh. Don't be a party pooper.
And my mom
Oh.
always told me to like it's rude to say no, and like I know teachers. I always knew that they like paid for all their own stuff because half of my family is on my mom's side or on my dad's side. They're all teachers, and I was like. So I felt bad. So I was like, I feel rude. So I'd sit there and like scrape the cheese and make like a whole scene. It was a whole ordeal. It was embarrassing.
Just grandma, so disappointed.
Everyone's got
What
a face
happened to this
off.
one? What happened to this one? I got my other one, the other one. What happened to this one? She don't eat the pizza. Oh.
Hate it.
So man, so Danny, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you so much for getting back to me and just saying, yeah, I'll come on. I just need to get some sleep. I appreciate it because I know you work hard and you do a lot and I know about your anxiety and stuff like that. So I know it takes a lot for you to show up and I just want you to know I appreciate it and thank you so much and um thank you for making this episode a fun one. Thank you so much. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this is where I sign out, and I'm gonna first of all, do you have anything you want to say? Like it could be anything. If you want to just shout out your dog, shout out Bobby,
Yeah,
tell
shout
your
out
grandma you're
my girl
sorry.
sleep. Let us just all like pray in unison that we don't lose to Detroit because I just don't want to deal with that. That's pretty much all I gotta say.
Hey, listen, I respect that, and thank y'all, and y'all can find her at Danny to
Targaryen.
Targaryen on Twitter at Danny Targaryen on Twitter. She's an excellent follow. Make sure you're not muted, and make sure you're within the first 3 likes because she's gonna mute it because she don't play that viral stuff. But I'm Prince Blue. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, listen, share this. I don't get a lot of listeners and a lot of viewers, but the people I do get, I appreciate you so much and thank you so much. And Rome wasn't built in one day, so I'm going to stop worrying about the numbers and I'm just going to have fun. And make sure my next episode on Friday, I'm going to be with Stephen Puga, the up and coming comedian comic, and we're gonna upset some people on Friday. So y'all be on the lookout for that because we don't care. We taking aim at wokes, liberal, whatever the case may be. We doing that. So make sure you show up for that. This podcast will be available tomorrow or whenever I upload it. I'll try to upload it. Thank you, Danny, so much. This has been real time with Prince Blue, and I am yo. I got trap intro music. Trap intro music. I listen. Ain't nobody got trap intro music and outro music. It's like trap. It's like I can't describe it. It's like trap.
It's
It's like
legit.
Bruce. It's like Bruce Springsteen. Not exactly. It's legit. So we are out of here. Y'all enjoy yourselves. I'll see you Friday. Be safe.
Yeah, 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 yeah.